In the name of God, the Exalted. The tragic and heartrending incident of the martyrdom of a group of our people in New Zealand at the hands of an evil, hateful, far-right terrorist has once again exposed the atrocity and viciousness of the enemies of good people amongst mankind. This hard-hearted terrorist who opened fire on innocent worshippers at 2 mosques in New Zealand cannot be forgiven, and certainly it cannot be forgotten. It shows how the international media has created spiteful hearts amongst mankind and has sown the seed of hatred and darkness in society. Such a thing cannot be taken lightly anymore. I hereby express my solidarity and sympathy with the families of these dear martyrs, and I ask God for patience and divine calm for them, as well as elevation of the heavenly ranks of these martyrs.
Absolute shock and horror that innocent people going to a mosque for Friday prayers should be mown down by a gunman in this dreadful way. And I've just been to express my condolences to the people of New Zealand through the High Commissioner and have a discussion with him about the issues of the danger to people when these kind of crazed events happen, but also our response, which has to be communities come together, communities support each other, and we are happy with our diversity in our society.
Ofcom is the regulator and competition authority for the UK communications industries. It regulates the TV and radio sector, fixed line telecom, mobile and postal services, plus airwaves over which wireless devices operate. We need to question such organisations globally, because this incident in New Zealand would not have occurred if it wasn't for the mainstream media industry.
So let's say there are 10,000 right-wing extremist terrorist acts every day. It still doesn't answer the question, why are people coming to this country in the name of Islam killing Americans? And don't you think you should pause for a minute and reflect on what's gone wrong within your community?
Do we remember who the bombers of the Boston Marathon were? I mean, just an aside to the Muslim community, if you don't want to be portrayed in a negative light, maybe don't burn people alive and set off bombs and things like that.
Now terrorism and the jihadists are again on the move. And most Muslim nations are not joining with the West to confront that. Therefore, criticism of Islam's role on the world stage is certainly valid. The Muslim world needs to take a hard look at itself.
Being accused of Islamophobia is actually worse than plotting a terror attack in some circles. Remember the reports that the neighbors of the San Bernardino attackers had seen some unusual activity. We don't know to the extent that they shared that information with authorities. It looks like they didn't.
Because they didn't want to be labeled racist.
We can't admit the problem, which is Islamism.
With the same breath, I will not be one-sided. Because yes, the media is to blame for the terrorist incident in New Zealand. But for Islamophobia to be such a global phenomenon, surely it needs great planning. There's planning behind it. It's no secret that Saudi Arabia, along with the United Arab Emirates, have been funding Wahhabism. It's a backward, uneducated view of Islam, which has been prevalent across Europe and Middle East, mainly due to Saudi money. It is the strain which is feeding into this hate. It's the Wahhabi Takfiri mentality. This strain has turned into a war between Muslims and non-Muslims, and it's the innocent people who are on front line, fighting in many regions across the globe. Anjem Choudhury arrested for supporting Daesh, who follows the same creed as Saudi Arabia.
Was the ruling on living in a Kafir country? Yeah, go to a Muslim country. No, what? It's not allowed. It's not permissible.
Dawah Man also follows the same creed as Saudi Arabia, also known as Ibn Mansour. Straight up question, if the United Kingdom is so bad, then what is he still doing here? Is it because of the money? Is the money pouring into his PayPal account to promote extremism and sow the seeds of discord? It's quite simple. Love it or leave it. I am Muslim, I am British, and I'm damn proud of it. Take a look at the conditions of today's Libya, Syria, Iraq, and see against whom these innocent Iraqis, Syrians and Libyans are fighting. It's these Takfiri Wahhabi Daesh terrorists. These are the people who are causing chaos abroad, with funding from and blessings from America and Saudi Arabia. And in the West, these Wahhabis, Takfiris, terrorists, they are making Islam look bad. All this has been carefully drafted to cause tyranny and chaos. And leadership doesn't help, especially the American government.
Do you think Islam is at war with the West?
I think Islam hates us. There's something there that there's a tremendous hatred there. There's a tremendous hatred. We have to get to the bottom of it. There is an unbelievable hatred of us.
In Islam itself?
You're going to have to figure that out, okay? You'll get another Pulitzer, right? But you're going to have to figure that out. But there is a tremendous hatred, and we have to be very vigilant. We have to be very careful, and we can't allow people coming into this country who have this hatred of the United States.
I guess the question is...
And of people that are not Muslim.
Why is America in bed with the Saudi government? I want to ask everyone of every faith, particularly Muslims, Christians, Jews, Hindus, Sikhs, Zoroastrians, and people of no faith, scholars, intellectuals, officials, politicians, and outstanding personalities in all countries to see the treacherous hand of the enemy, which is constantly trying to sow the seed of discord. This discord is not a natural one. Rather, it's imposed on us and suggested on us. Muslims can live naturally and live together with people of every faith. Experience has shown us that when the enemy's temptation and deception does not enter the arena, people can live together as one family. You mustn't lose faith. Humanity is an ocean. If a few drops of the ocean are dirty, the ocean does not become dirty. Our fight is not with any religion. The elite are using Wahhabism, Zionism, evangelicalism to ruin every country and bring us to fight one another. Their plans will miserably fail.